long thought to not exist anymore. So basically, he's just sent off on a fool's errand and is told he cannot come home until he essentially finds what is this world's second coming of Jesus. Well, to literally everyone's surprise, he actually finds him somehow. But that's beside the point. That leads into our next symptom of a dark night of the soul and how to manage it. Repeated, seemingly negative interactions with people who should otherwise be neutral. Zuko would always butt heads with his crew because they just thought he was an asshole. But because of his internal suffering, he doesn't know any other way to be. But after his uncle explains to them the past, they give him more grace. But we don't always get that. But Zuko's saving grace in this entire thing is this man right here. His uncle, who decided to come along with him because he loves him, who importantly has experienced great tragedy himself, and through that had his own period of redemption, founded in profound suffering. But in the beginning, Zuko, who needs this advice more than anybody, almost never takes it. It always makes him angry. This is the part that no one ever wants to talk about, which is that when wisdom you need is put before you, if you really need it, you will almost never recognize it. It will probably piss you off. But really think about it. If it fit within your current worldview, is it really something that can be helpful to you? If you seek a great transformation in your life, great change, can that happen with your current life intact? And this next part has the greatest impact on your dark night. Zuko's being taught lightning bending, and he can't seem to figure it out. And again, this brings him great anguish, because it feels like there's nothing he can do right, like the whole world's shattering. Does that sound familiar to you at all? But Iroh tells him the key, which if you understand it, and person who sent me that message, if your brother can understand it, in my opinion, this is what makes the difference between this becoming what ends you for what makes you. After Zuko fails again in a huge way, he freaks out and his uncle drops one of the most profound quotes in cartoon history. He says, hey, you need to get rid of your feelings of shame if you want your anger to go away. Zuko straight up tells him, I don't have any shame. I'm as proud as ever. He says pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. True humility is the only antidote to shame. That was a turning point for him, because from that point on, that would become the foundation of his redemption, as it was for me. Because that profound shame and pain is often based in a perceived loss, which subsequently causes you to take a bunch of action, expend a bunch of energy, trying to get back to a lifeline you think you should have been on. But the more you do that, the more the universe will blow up in your face, over and over again. Not because it wants to, but because that's a reflection of you inside. It's only when you end the battle, accepting things as they are, attempt to live more in flow and harmony, despite what may have happened in the past, then you can step into the future. But until you learn humility, you will keep bumping up against anger and shame. This is not to destroy you or convict you, it is guiding you. But whether or not it becomes a transformation, how many explosions it's going to take, whether you give the wisdom that may hurt as it comes in, the opportunity to reach you, all of those factors are up to the person. But it always starts with humility and acceptance. This got way too long, but I really need to do a part 2, because there's way more to his arc than that. So follow for that. See you soon.